Hi everyone, my name is Kristin Hayes and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today we're going to be making this cute Sweet as a Peach card using some new items out of the new 2021-2022 annual catalog. So let's get started. So this is a piece of Calypso Coral as our base. It's cut at 8.5 by 5.5 and I did score it at 4 1/4. All right, we'll just use our bone folder to give it a nice crisp edge. Then I have a piece of the You're a Peach designer series paper, and let me just grab it to show you all the different patterns that we've got. So we've got really pretty, it's a mix of like pale papaya and Calypso Coral, some pear pizzazz, and then you've got some pieces with the balmy blue, but it's really pretty. I'll show you at the end two other projects I've made with this DSP and this stamp set, so you can see some alternatives for it as well. I have them a little bit mixed up because I've been diving into it, but it's really pretty paper, which I say that about almost all Stampin' Up's designer series paper because it is just really gorgeous. All right, so then I have another piece here. Oh, this is I don't think I gave you the measurements. So this is a piece cut at 5 1/4 by 4, and then we have this little bit of an accent piece here, same Your Peach designer series paper, and this is cut at 4 by 2 1/4, and I'm going to start here. So I'm using this border die, and it's out of the scalloped contour dies, and if you've been watching any of my videos or follow me on Instagram, you know I have used this set to death already. I just love it. It's very pretty, and this little piece goes right in here, and that's what we're going to use out of this set today. I'm using some different pieces for the rest of it, but I really have used that set quite a bit. So I'm just going to bring out my Stampin' Cut and Boss machine, and hopefully this will fit in the frame. Let's see. So I'm going to put this on here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim off the edges, but what I'm trying to do is make it even on both sides. So I want to make sure like this piece here is the same over on the other end. I'm not sure you can see that. Let me just pick this up a little bit so that now it's going to slide. All right, so I'm doing it close to the edge, and then if I can get it to stay, see how this piece here and this piece here are about hitting in the same spot? That's what I want because I want to line it up on the other side as well. So you can choose any part of the scallop border you want it to land on. Just try and make sure it's the same on both ends, just to give it a little bit more of a symmetrical look. You could also do it, you know, mismatched too, if that's what you wanted. All right, so we're going to just take that piece off, and we're going to just flip this die around. It's caught on my dress, and there we go. All right, and so again, I'm just making sure that this and this look about the same. Try and be careful when I put this piece on top. And there we have a nice little accent piece for our project. I think you can see that if I hold it there. All right, so let's move on and do some stamping. So the first thing I'm going to stamp is your Sweet as a Peach right here. And the stamp set is Sweet as a Peach, and it's very pretty, and it does have matching dies. So let me grab those. Here we go, peach dies. So it does have matching dies. I have some of them out right now. I'll show you this one that we're going to be using, and this cuts out 3 peaches separately, but you stamp them together, which is nice. And then this little piece for the sentiment. So it makes some cute little flowers like this. and has some accent leaves and some other flowers. So if you didn't want to use the peaches, you could just use it as a floral set too. You have the pretty flowers right here. So we're going to stamp our sentiment first. And I'm just going to take some soft suede. And I'm going to do this towards the bottom. I just have scrap basic white. Sweet as a peach. And then we're going to use the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine again. We're going to use it quite a few times. And this time I'm using the Hippo and Friends. Let's see, I've got that right here. Now this is a stamp set I don't have, but I have the dies. This has a matching stamp set. I love these dies in here. I don't get a lot of kids set. We don't have a lot of kids in our family right now. So I tend not to get those, but I just love the shape of these other pieces. So I used the biggest one of this shape, and I already cut it out in Calypso Coral. And then we're going to use the second biggest one to do the Sweet as a Peach. Let me just put these aside. Bring the machine back up again. It's going to be back and forth quite a bit for this project. All right. So when I line it up, I want to make sure the Sweet as a Peach is down towards the bottom so I can fit the leaves and the peaches on towards the top. And we'll just send it through. Alrighty. It's a little stuck on there. Does not want to come. There we go. I'm going to grab the take your pick tool to get under it, but it came off. All right, so then what we're going to do is take another piece of the basic white, and we're going to stamp our leaves and our peaches. So we'll do the leaves first, and those are just stamped in Pear Pizzazz. And you can see in the leaves, there are spots left for the peaches. And then we're just going to use this other side of the paper and do our peaches. Now for the peaches, I used two colors. And what I did is I inked it up first in the Pale Papaya. I just like to close these after I use them so that my project doesn't fall in them. I've done that too many times. And then I came in with the Calypso Coral, and I used a sponge dauber. I inked it up a little bit, and then I just went around the edges just a little bit to give it a little more depth in the peaches. And then we're just going to stamp. There we go. All right, I am going to cut this to send it through the die cut machine, just because I find that it's easier sometimes to position the dies when they're not attached. All right. Here we go. We're just going to line these up with the dies. All right, let's see here. That looks pretty good. There we go. And then our leaves. All right, let's see. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. When you're doing the shading with the two colors like I did with the peaches, I always start with the lighter color first and add the darker color on a dauber. I just find that that works a little bit better for me. Obviously, it's harder to add a light color onto a dark color. All right, there's our leaves. And like I said, the peaches come out separately. So you can position them how you would like them. All right, and then we're going to put this aside while we do our sentiment. Well, the second part of our sentiment. And that's the thank you for being right here, this piece. And I just have a piece of scrap Calypso coral. And we're just going to find my Versamark. Here it is. And we're going to take this and just put it right about here. Give it a good press. Get some fuzzies in there. All right. And now I'm going to take my white emboss powder and sprinkle it on there. I don't think I need a second coat. I think that looks pretty good. All right, and now we'll take the heat tool and heat it up. Didn't take too long at all. And now again, I have this little piece. This is from the same die set as the peaches. And we're just gonna, once again, and this is our last time bringing this up, use this piece here to cut this out. And it just fits, but it does fit. All right, let's see if I can just tilt that up. There we go. Just the tiniest bit, and sometimes I overcompensate. All right. And there we go with our sentiment. And now we can start putting this together. So the first thing I'm going to do, if I can find what I did with the accent piece here, there we go, is I'm going to attach this onto the middle here. And the reason why I'm doing this first is that way if I didn't cut it quite right and I have some hangover, I can trim it before I put it on my base. Have some embossing powder there. All right, so we're going to center this on. And like I have just a tad here, we'll just trim that a little bit. There we go. And then we're going to adhere it to our base. All right, center that on. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our two pieces, the Calypso Coral and Basic White with part of our sentiment. And I'm just going to snail these two together. Snail, I still say snail, adhere. Stampin' seal. I said snail for way too long to stop saying it quickly, I guess. It's been a while already. Okay, so we're just going to put some dimensionals on the back of that. And then center this. All right, and now we'll take our leaves. I'm going to use a big dimensional here, but then I'm going to use some smaller ones on the rest of the leaves. Let's see, we'll put one on my fingernail apparently, my goodness. There we go, whoops, maybe not. All right, that's good. And I'm just going to take the leaves and kind of drape them over here. And I want to leave some room to put the peaches on. So I don't want to go too far down. And then we'll put some dimensionals on our peaches. Here we go. And then we're just going to stick them on in those spots that are open. So I'm just going to stick one there, one here. Let's see which way that goes. And then finally, the last peach is just going to go right here. Stick it in and try not to cover up my sentiment. And then this little piece right here, we're just going to put some adhesive on the back. And we're going to put right over our peaches. So that is this card that we've done today together. Here's our original. And then I just wanted to show you 2 more cards that I made with the same set. So this time I used the bigger peach, and then this I used the bigger peach as well. So thank you so much for watching. All of my links will be listed down below, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Thank you.